What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XPR network. We're going to be looking at the charts in just a moment, but the purpose of this video before we get into it is to discuss where I think the price is going to be by the end of today, which is the 14th of February, where I think we'll be by the end of this week, where I think we'll be by the end of this month of February, and then, of course, where I think the end of this move, which likely happens sometime in March, where the price will be for XPR as well. If that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it, okay? Here we are, my friends, at about 0.00411118 all the way over here. XPR on a 4-hour basis looking like it wants to get frisky, man. It wants to go to the upside. I will say a little bit discouraging to see that you're getting in the oversold zone and you're not getting in the overbought zone, but a little bit encouraging to see you've got some higher lows. Maybe you could get some higher highs coming into here. I don't know. You do still have the lower highs coming in, but higher lows, lower highs, something's going to give one way or another. Looking at the 4-hour, I want to say you look like you want to move up, but let's look at the 1-hour to get some little, yeah, okay, the 1-hour is nice. That gives us some help there. So, yeah, I think you do move up from here. Looking at that in price, that makes sense as well. If we take a low here, a relative low right there to this relative high, you went just below your 382 and pulled back up. If you want to confirm what I'm saying, that you are going to move higher, then what I'd like you to do is close above this red line here. Get a 4-hour period. Get 2 4-hour periods to close above. What is that red line there? It's basically at 0.0044. What is the actual number? 0.004396. So basically closing at 0.0044 or higher for 2 4-hour periods in a row or more, that would make me think that you are not just moving higher, but of course that's your low there, and likely you are breaking out of this overall consolidation phase as a whole. So XPR, you really are on the cusp of seeing this next move begin. Okay, by the end of today, because we're on the 4-hour time frame here, I would suspect that XPR is, let's just see, I think that it will be above 0.0044, but I think XPR by the end of today will be something around 0.0047 to 0.0051, somewhere in that area. That's my kind of expectation. If I'm wrong, I would think I'm only wrong in the sense that it goes higher. Maybe I'm not bullish enough, but that's my end of day target. We have 2 days and 21 hours left in this week, so my end of week target will persist a little bit past that. I think if we go on a daily high to a daily low, we consider that the 4-hour will probably get into the overbought zone. The 1-hour here is in this nice kind of position of strength now. I bet today moves up, and then the next couple days you chill, maybe. And that would make sense because today is Friday. The next couple of days are the weekend. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah. So you probably, what you're going to do by the end of the week, I bet you're up here at about 0.0059, 0.006, whatever it is, somewhere up here. And then by the end of the week, you probably come back down and you're either closing around these high points here or at the golden ratio there. So I think by the end of the week, you'll be at 0.00515 to 0.00464, somewhere in this area. Of course, after already peaking out, of course, I think that peak is going to happen today or tomorrow. That's my expectation. So you'll reach up for this. Maybe you hit the 786. Maybe you fall just below. If you fall just below the 786, instead of hitting here, you reject at, let's say, just above the 6.9 right here at these prior areas of resistance here. That's pretty common to do. Maybe then instead of pulling all the way back like this, you just pull back a little bit to end the week, and then going into next week we'll start to move up higher. Of course, you could fall back lower, but I very much would think that once you break above your golden ratio here, I would think you stay above it. Okay, so my thoughts would be that you stay above 0.00466. If you go below it, it's not the end of the world, but that's just my hopes, my dreams, the aspirations that I have for this thing. Now, by the end of the month of February, we have 14 days, 21 hours left, essentially 2 weeks left. Okay, I'm assuming if we look at the Bitcoin dominance here, BTC.D. Shout out to the XCN people, by the way. I'm sure you guys are patiently waiting for the next video. I'm going to make one soon, I promise. But the Bitcoin dominance, to me, at least on a weekly aspect, it looks like it's topped off. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but when the Bitcoin dominance tops off, it generally moves pretty fast to the downside. So when I'm talking about this move, when I'm talking about moving up right now, just over the coming days, understand that over the next 2 weeks that we have left in this month, we're going to see a lot of growth. We're going to be above these highs, okay? Absolutely, we're going to be above these highs. From a high here to a low there, we stopped just below the 1886, pulled all the way back to just below this 886 here. We likely will rip all the way up, I would think, beyond the 2272, potentially even beyond the 2618. I very much do believe we'll see something between the 2618 and the 3113 by the end of this move. Something that would take you around 2.27 cents to 4.45 cents, if not higher, XPR. Okay, just to put that in perspective from the current price here. Okay, I'm talking about a move that will be anything from a 5.5x to maybe a 10x and 11x, something like that, right? That's what we have in store for us right now. I think that if not higher, but genuinely I think that makes sense to me, because if we look at this kind of top side area here, that 3113 comes in line with resistance here, resistance there, maybe, just maybe, you reach all the way for your 3618 at about 8.8 cents. Maybe you do, but I don't know, man. That's crazy. That'd be a 20x, 21x. Not that it can't happen, but you've already grown so much in a short amount of time. My thoughts are by the end of March, or sorry, well, by the end of March, yes, I think that you'll be up here. By the end of February, I got distracted. I'm sorry. By the end of February, I think you'll be at new relative highs. So by the end of February, something around 1 to 1.5 cent. Okay, 1 to 1.5 cent. That messes with the flow a little bit. I jumped the gun. I'm sorry, but you know, on the daily aspect, right, we're going to close a little bit higher. On the weekly aspect, we probably go higher today, tomorrow, and then close the week a little bit lower than those highs. Going into next week, I think we'll really start to break out and see this thing come to full fruition. And then the following week, when we end the month, I suppose I would expect the price is somewhere around here, if not just below or just above. So just above 1 cent, if not right around 1.5 cents is what I'm thinking by the end of February. And then going into March, the end of March, I suppose we'll double it from there, if not more, going up to 2.27 cents, if not as high as 4.45 cents, or maybe even just a little bit higher. I suppose 8.8 cents is possible, but I don't know, man. Again, you look at what kind of growth that would take. I don't think this thing's going to grow 21x from here, at least not by the end of March. Through the rest of the cycle, yes, and beyond then, yes, but by the end of March, I don't think so. Looking at the weekly RSI here, hold on. Weekly RSI, you've got lower lows, of which you're bouncing right at the 60. That's a very bullish posturing to be in. Anytime you bounce off the 60 on a weekly, on a daily, I don't care if it's a 15-minute. On the RSI, when you bounce off the 60 after being overbought, that tends to promote some very strong price action. Right, on a weekly basis, this means that for months we are likely going to grow, or at the very least weeks, but a month and a half, if not more, is what we have in store here. The last time that you bounced off the 60, look at what it did to you, right? You're at this low point here, you bounce off your 60 on the RSI, and you went as high as 625% higher. What's this move going to do? I don't know, man. It's 625%. That puts you right at about 1.4 cents right there. And that's where I think you'll be by the end of February, right? So it makes sense to me. Is it going to be a straight shot all the way up to that, what is it, 3 cent, 5 cent, what is it, 4.1 cent area? Is it going to be a straight shot all the way up there? It might be, but likely you find turbulence along the way, right? But you are going to get there, and I think that it will be by the end of March that we're there. I want to look at some short-term stuff again and just make sure that I've got everything, all my ducks in a row, and then we can end this video, okay? Yeah, I'm very confident, very, very confident that was your low. Very confident that, you know, on a daily aspect, by the end of this week, you will be higher from here. You'll definitely be looking like you're breaking out of this zone. I think you already are looking like it, so I think you're going to press higher right now. Now is the time to press higher, okay? On a weekly aspect, you just look like you're in the middle of this, in the midst of this overall move. It's kind of like a giant W, right? From the low here, you have this nice, kind of a nice rounded bottom, actually, which is also a good thing. But then you have the little W at the bottom, which just signals to me that inevitably you will return to this price, and inevitably you will, if it's a successful W, see higher prices than that, right? I guess we could talk about where I see XPR going by the end of the cycle, since we haven't probably done that in the last couple of videos, then we can end it there. So XPR, right, made in America, it's an American crypto, so likely, or hopefully, it doesn't get taxed for the 2025 year, right? Hopefully there's no income tax on that at all, capital gains tax, whatever. It's at 111, let's call it $112 million right now, okay? 112, well, I don't know, I thought I had that plugged in. Have I not had this plugged in the whole time? Oh man, wow, well, that's a waste. That's a waste of potential charging I could have done. I'm sorry, guys. All right, talking out loud here. $112 million right now. To get to a $100 billion market cap, that's 11. That's $12 billion, right? 112. I'm sorry, it would be $11.2 billion. 100x from here is 11.2, and 11.2 billion is remarkable. It's not a small feat to accomplish at all. People, in crypto, you don't see that happen for every single crypto, but it absolutely is an attainable market cap for a first cycle coin, right? Coins that do 100x's, multi 100x's, they often end up worth tens of billions of dollars. I'm only asking you to be worth about 11, 12 billion dollars, something in that range, right? If you were to get to 24, if you were to get to 36, 48 billion dollars, this thing is multi 100x potential at its finest, my friends. It really is. In fact, I was actually just looking at, I was looking at one of my videos for XPR. The one that got the most views recently that I put was talking about how it is a multi 100x coin. And I really do believe that not only will it see a 100x, but I really do believe that it will see a multi 100x by the end of the cycle. The rounding out of this pattern here, the bullishness of the W, the reaction afterwards, and just the low market cap that you have with pretty decent volume too. That's actually not bad volume for that kind of market cap, right? You look for something around like something above 5%, 10% is nice, whatever. Anything higher than that's good too. You don't want it to be too high. Who am I? I'm not the most experted person in volume, but I think that's a good market cap, relative volume, whatever. It's at a nice area. That the reactions and the charts look good to me. I very much believe that this thing, not only will it see a 100x, but it'll see a multi 100x. 100x would put it at 40 cents. I could see this thing being worth prices that are over $1 by the end of the cycle for sure, if not at least $1. But even then, that's a multi 100x there. So I'm gonna go buy some XPR probably. Hit that like button, you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Thank you all for being here. Bye.